If you're over 60, I need you to picture something that could change the rest of your life in a single night. You go to bed feeling perfectly fine. You've brushed your teeth, turned off the lights, maybe even said a quiet prayer of gratitude for another good day. You close your eyes and drift into sleep, trusting your body to carry you safely through the night. But while you're sleeping, something is happening inside your brain. No pain, no warning, no strange sensation to alert you. Then morning comes. You open your eyes, but something is wrong. Your right arm feels heavy, like it belongs to someone else. You try to sit up, but the room tilts. Words form in your mind, but when you try to speak, they come out slurred, broken. I've seen this moment far too many times in my career as a brain doctor, and here's the part that shocks people the most. It's not always caused by smoking, high cholesterol, or years of bad eating habits. In fact, for some people, it's triggered by something they've been told is healthy, something they believed was protecting them, something that sits quietly in a small bottle on the kitchen counter. Vitamins, yes, the very supplements you might take every single day could, under certain conditions, be the silent reason you have a stroke while you sleep. I know that sounds unbelievable. I know you've been told vitamins are harmless, that more is better, that they're your shield against aging. But the truth is, especially if you take the wrong dose, at the wrong time, or combine them with the wrong medication, they can become the perfect storm for a brain disaster. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the 7 most common vitamins that can quietly harm your brain, raise your stroke risk, and steal your independence without you even realizing it's happening. And I'll show you exactly how to protect yourself, not by fear, but by knowledge and simple changes you can make starting today. Because here's what I promise you. By the end of this video, you will never look at your supplement cabinet the same way again. Before we start, I want to ask for your support. If brain health matters to you or to someone you love, please take a second to hit that subscribe button. Your subscription is what gives this channel the motivation and resources to keep bringing you life-saving, science-backed health advice, made especially for older adults. And now, before we dive in, I want to hear from you. Here's a quick question. If you had to choose, which do you believe is more dangerous for your brain health? A. Eating unhealthy foods once in a while. B. Taking the wrong vitamin every day without realizing it. Type your answer. Or B down in the comments. I'm curious to see what you think, and I promise your choice might surprise you by the end of this video. Before we begin exploring these hidden dangers, I want you to know exactly how we'll move through this conversation, because this isn't just another list of things to avoid video. What we're about to do together is take a slow, careful walk through real lives, real science, and real solutions, so that by the time we finish, you're not just informed, you're empowered. We'll be looking at each vitamin one at a time. For each, I'll share the story of an older adult, someone just like you or someone you know who learned the hard way what can happen when good intentions meet incomplete information. These aren't distant, clinical cases. They're human moments. They're the phone calls in the middle of the night, the tears in a hospital waiting room, the moments when a family's life changes forever. I've seen them with my own eyes, and each one has left a mark on me as a doctor and as a person. After each story, we'll go deeper into the why. I'll explain in plain, simple language exactly what happened inside that person's body. How a vitamin, taken with the best of intentions, triggered a cascade of changes that the brain couldn't handle. I won't bury you in medical jargon, but I won't water it down so much that the truth loses its weight. You deserve to understand, not just what can happen, but how and why it happens. Then, and only then, we'll get to the most important part, what you can do about it. This isn't about scaring you into throwing away every bottle in your cabinet. It's about giving you the tools to make decisions that fit your health, your medications, your lifestyle. You'll get clear, practical steps, doses, timing, what to watch for, and how to talk to your doctor so that you can keep what's helping you and let go of what's quietly putting you at risk. Want you to know something before we go any further. The goal here isn't to make you suspicious of everything in your pantry. The goal is to replace blind trust with informed trust. It's to help you stand in front of that shelf of vitamins at the store and feel confident, not confused. It's to make sure that if you're taking something every single day, you know exactly why you're taking it, how much is safe for you, and when it might be time to stop. So as we move forward, think of this as more than just a video. Think of it as a conversation between you and me, one that could help you avoid a silent, life-altering mistake. Listen closely. Picture the people in these stories and ask yourself at every step, could this be me? Could this be someone I care about? Because awareness isn't just power, it's protection. And once you have it, you'll never give it up. Vitamin D is often introduced to us as one of the good guys. We're told it strengthens bones, keeps our mood steady, supports our immune system. And for many people, in the right dose, that's true. But the picture changes dramatically. When the dose is too high, when it's taken at the wrong time of day, or when it's paired with other factors that quietly set the stage for disaster. What makes this so dangerous is that it doesn't happen with a loud warning. It happens quietly, invisibly, until one night the wrong combination of circumstances is in place, and the damage is done before you even open your eyes. I remember a patient, a retired engineer named Thomas Lawson. He was meticulous about his health. He didn't drink, didn't smoke, walked every morning. He also had a routine of lining up his supplements before bed, including a large, over-the-counter vitamin D capsule, 10,000 IU, every single night. He believed it was protecting his bones and his independence. He never imagined it could be creating the perfect storm for a stroke. One morning, his wife found him sitting on the edge of the bed, staring at the floor. His mouth tried to form words, but only garbled sounds came out. His right arm hung useless at his side. In the hospital, his calcium levels were dangerously high, his arteries stiff like old, brittle pipes. The neurologist traced it back to vitamin D toxicity. Here's what many people don't realize. Vitamin D tells your body to absorb more calcium from food and supplements. But when the amount of vitamin D is far beyond what your body needs, that calcium doesn't just go into your bones. It stays in your bloodstream, where it can deposit into your artery walls. Over time, those arteries lose their flexibility. Blood doesn't flow as smoothly. And when you add in the natural dehydration that can occur overnight, along with the rise in blood pressure that happens in the early morning hours, you've created an environment where a clot can lodge in the brain with devastating consequences. The scary part is that this buildup can happen even when you feel perfectly healthy. You won't feel your arteries hardening. You won't sense your calcium creeping higher. That's why so many people, especially older adults, never see it coming. The safe path forward is surprisingly simple, but it requires awareness. For most adults over 60, the recommended daily intake is only 600 to 800 IU, unless a blood test confirms a deficiency. More is not better. And the timing matters. Taking vitamin D in the morning allows your body to process and balance calcium. During the day, when you're hydrated and active, rather than at night, when circulation slows. Thomas eventually recovered enough to walk again, but he told me later, I thought I was protecting myself. I didn't know I was giving myself a stroke in my sleep. That's the lesson I want you to carry with you. Vitamin D can be your ally, but only if you respect its power, measure its dose, and time it wisely. Your brain and your future may depend on it. Asterisk. Vitamin E has long been marketed as the heart helper. The labels promise better circulation, sharper memory, even healthier skin. For many older adults, that's reason enough to add it to their daily routine without a second thought. It feels safe after all. It's a vitamin. But what almost no one realizes is that in the wrong dose, or when combined with certain medications, vitamin E can become a silent trigger for a catastrophic brain bleed. And unlike some health problems that give you time to react, a brain bleed can change or end a life in minutes. I think of a woman named Evelyn Brooks, an 81-year-old retired librarian who still had a quick wit and a love for poetry. She had a heart valve issue and was on a blood thinner warfarin. Her doctors kept a close eye on her. Every appointment, her labs looked good. Her blood pressure stayed steady. Then one afternoon, while reading on her porch, she developed a sudden, crushing headache. Her vision blurred, and within minutes, she was too confused to call for help. Her neighbor noticed something was wrong and called an ambulance. At the hospital, the scan showed bleeding deep inside her brain. Doubt it wasn't from high blood pressure. It wasn't from a fall. The culprit was hidden in a bottle of natural vitamin E she had started taking 3 weeks earlier. 800 IU per capsule, because she'd read it could help her memory and circulation. She had no idea that high doses of vitamin E act as a natural anticoagulant, slowing the blood's ability to clot. And when you combine that effect with a prescription blood thinner, the result can be disastrous. All it takes is one fragile vessel in the brain to rupture, and the bleeding has nothing to stop it. What makes this so deceptive is that vitamin E in small amounts is essential for health. It helps protect cells from damage and supports immune function. The problem comes when the dose is hundreds of times higher than the body actually needs. For most older adults, that's just 15 milligrams, or about 22 IU per day. Yet the bottles on store shelves often contain 200, 400, even 1,000 IU per capsule, with no prominent warning about the risk of combining it with common heart medications. Evelyn survived, but the damage was permanent. She now walks with a cane, and her once razor-sharp short-term memory fades in and out. She told me through tears, "I just wanted to help myself. I didn't know I was doing harm." Her story is one of countless others I've encountered, and they all share the same heartbreaking thread: good intentions undermined by a lack of clear information. The lesson is not to fear vitamin E, but to respect it. If you take blood thinners, warfarin, aspirin, Plavix, your doctor needs to know about every supplement you add, especially high-dose vitamin E. The goal isn't to strip away the nutrients your body needs, but to avoid turning them into weapons against your own health. Because once bleeding starts in the brain, there's no easy way to undo the damage. Awareness, in this case, truly is the best form of protection. Vitamin B6 is often labeled as a friend to the nervous system. You'll see it on bottles promising to support brain health, boost energy, or protect aging nerves. For many seniors, those words are enough to feel safe, even hopeful. After all, if your hands tingle or your feet feel numb, why not give your nerves a little help? But the truth is, when B6 is taken in excessive amounts, it can turn on the very system it's meant to protect, quietly damaging nerve fibers, and, in some cases, leaving permanent scars. One man who taught me this lesson was Harold Jenkins, a 76-year-old retired truck driver from Kansas. Harold had spent decades on the road, his body worn from long hours behind the wheel. When his feet began to feel numb and his balance grew unsteady, he assumed it was just age catching up with him. A friend recommended a nerve support formula he found online, so Harold bought a few bottles and began taking them faithfully. The label looked impressive: B vitamins, herbal extracts, all the things he'd heard were good for the brain. But buried in the fine print was a number he didn't recognize: 100 milligrams of vitamin B6 per tablet. He took 2 a day. At first, he thought the tingling might be improving. Then, over months, his symptoms shifted. His legs felt weaker. He began tripping on uneven sidewalks. One night, he fell in the bathroom and struck his head. When Harold came to my office, his hands trembled slightly as he buttoned his shirt. His reflexes were dulled, his gait unsteady. Blood tests and a review of his supplements revealed the truth. He had been consuming over 200 milligrams of B6 daily, more than 10 times the safe upper limit for older adults. Here's what happens inside the body when B6 levels climb too high. Unlike vitamin C or other water-soluble vitamins that the body flushes out easily, B6 can accumulate. It plays a role in nerve signaling, but in excess, it disrupts the delicate balance of those signals. Over time, it strips away the myelin sheath, protective coating around your nerves like insulation peeling off a wire. Without that insulation, signals misfire or don't travel at all. The result is tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, and in severe cases, permanent nerve damage. Most unsettling part is how slowly it creeps in. People often blame arthritis, diabetic neuropathy, or simply getting old for these symptoms, never suspecting a vitamin could be the cause. By the time the connection is made, the damage may already be irreversible. Harold was fortunate. We stopped the supplement, and his condition stabilized, though he still uses a cane. "I thought I was protecting my nerves," he told me, "but I was poisoning them." His words have stayed with me because they capture the heartbreaking gap between what people believe and what's actually true. The safe daily range for B6 in older adults is small, just 2 to 10 milligrams, including what you get from food. That's plenty to keep your nerves functioning. The danger comes from high-dose pills marketed as extra support. They may promise vitality and mental clarity, but the price can be the very independence you're trying to preserve. In this case, less truly is more, and knowledge is your best safeguard. Vitamin A is often associated with clear vision, healthy skin, and a strong immune system. It's a nutrient many of us have been told to take without hesitation, especially as we grow older and worry about eyesight or immunity. But the truth about vitamin A is more complicated than the marketing on a bottle will ever tell you. In the right amount, it is essential. In excess, it can quietly build up in your body and begin to harm the very systems you thought you were protecting, including your brain. I remember meeting Dorothy Simmons, a 79-year-old retired piano teacher from Oregon. Dorothy was graceful in the way she carried herself, still teaching music from her living room. She believed in taking care of her health, and for years had included a high-dose skin and eye supplement in her daily routine 10,000 IU of vitamin. Every single day, it was never prescribed. She simply trusted the label that promised better vision and healthier skin. Over time, subtle symptoms began to creep in. Dorothy started to get headaches she couldn't explain. Her vision, once sharp enough to read sheet music with ease, began to blur. Then came the dizziness, the moments of slurred speech. One afternoon, she sat down to play the piano and realized she could no longer coordinate her fingers the way she used to. Alarmed, her family rushed her to the hospital. The scans revealed something unexpected. There was no stroke, no bleeding. Instead, Dorothy had elevated intracranial pressure, meaning there was too much pressure inside her skull. The culprit was vitamin A toxicity. Unlike water-soluble vitamins that the body can flush out, vitamin A is fat-soluble. It is stored in the liver, in fatty tissues, even in the brain itself. As we age, our liver processes nutrients more slowly, making it easier for vitamin A to accumulate. Excess vitamin A can lead to a condition called pseudotumor cerebri, literally, a false brain tumor. The symptoms mimic those of a stroke: headaches, vision changes, dizziness, nausea, even cognitive decline. The problem is that the damage can become permanent, especially when the optic nerve is under constant pressure. Dorothy's case was severe, but caught in time. She underwent months of treatment to reduce the pressure, and now requires regular eye exams and therapy to maintain her balance. What makes this so dangerous for older adults is how easy it is to unknowingly take too much. Many multivitamins already contain the full recommended daily amount of vitamin A, about 2,500 to 3,000 IU for seniors. Add in a separate eye or skin formula, and the dose can quickly double or triple without you realizing it. The result is years of silent buildup until one day, your body can no longer adapt. Dorothy told me later, "I thought I was helping my eyes. I never imagined I could be hurting my brain." Her words are a reminder that even nutrients with a reputation for safety can become harmful when taken in excess. The safest approach is simple. Know exactly how much vitamin A you're getting from all sources. Keep it within safe limits, and talk to your doctor before adding any supplement that contains it. Your vision, your brain, and your independence may depend on it. Niacin, also known as vitamin B3, has earned a reputation as a natural way to improve cholesterol and support heart health. For decades, it's been recommended in doctors' offices, printed on supplement bottles, and marketed in health magazines as a safe, gentle alternative to prescription drugs. Some people even see it as a kind of bonus: better cholesterol, better circulation, maybe even more energy. But what isn't often discussed is that in high doses, niacin can trigger sudden and dangerous changes in your blood vessels that put your brain at serious risk. I think of Frank Miller, an 82-year-old retired postman from Florida. Frank had lived an active life, delivering mail for decades under the hot sun. When his cholesterol crept up, he wanted to avoid adding more prescription medications to his daily routine. At a health store, he found a bottle of flush-free niacin capsules. The label promised to support cholesterol and circulation, and he figured that, without the flushing side effect, it had to be safer. Each capsule contained 1,000 milligrams of niacin. He took one in the morning, one at night. At first, Frank felt fine. Then came the subtle changes: short bursts of heat in his face, a pounding sensation in his chest, lightheadedness when standing up too quickly. He brushed it off as part of aging. But one morning at breakfast, his wife noticed his words slurring. His right hand trembled slightly as he reached for his coffee. Within minutes, the symptoms faded. By the time he reached the hospital, the episode had passed. The diagnosis: a transient ischemic attack, a mini-stroke. The connection to niacin lies in its effect on blood vessels. In high doses, niacin causes those vessels to dilate open wide, which is why some people experience flushing. But this widening is often followed by constriction, a sudden narrowing that can sharply raise blood pressure and reduce blood flow to the brain. For someone with already fragile arteries, this rapid shift is like snapping a rubber band. It strains the vessel walls and can set the stage for a clot or a full stroke. Even the so-called flush-free or extended release forms can still create these vascular swings, but in a slower, less noticeable way, making the danger easier to overlook. The recommended dietary allowance for niacin in older adults is about 14 to 16 milligrams per day, more than enough for the body's needs. Anything above 50 milligrams a day should be taken only under close medical supervision. Yet bottles on store shelves often contain hundreds or even thousands of milligrams per serving, with little warning about the potential impact on blood pressure, heart rhythm, or brain health. Frank eventually stopped the supplement and made lifestyle changes that helped his cholesterol without risking another episode. "I thought I was doing everything right," he told me, "but I was gambling with my brain without knowing it." His story is a reminder that natural does not mean harmless, and that even vitamins with proven benefits can become dangerous when taken in doses far beyond what the body needs. The safest path is to use niacin only when your doctor advises it, in the lowest effective dose, and with regular monitoring of your heart and blood pressure. In protecting your heart, you must never forget to protect your brain. We've just walked through 5 vitamins that, in the wrong circumstances, can quietly harm your brain. Each story may seem different: one about hardened arteries, another about a bleed, another about nerve damage, but they all share the same hidden pattern. Too much of a good thing, taken without guidance, can become a threat. What makes these dangers so insidious is their silence. There's no alarm bell, no early warning that tells you your brain is at risk. You go about your days believing you're protecting your health, when in reality, something as small as a capsule is slowly stacking the odds against you. This is why awareness is so important. It's not about fear, it's about control. When you understand how these vitamins work in the body, what doses are truly safe, and how they interact with the medications you already take, you put yourself back in the driver's seat. You can keep what helps you and avoid what harms you with confidence. So as we move forward, I want you to ask yourself, which of these 5 surprised you the most? Which one made you stop and think about your own supplement routine? Your answer might just be the key to protecting your brain for years to come. There are 2 more vitamins I want to bring to your attention, ones that don't get the same headlines as vitamin D or E, but can still create serious problems if you're not careful. The first is vitamin C. Most people think of it as the safest supplement in the world. You've been told it boosts immunity, fights colds, and acts as an antioxidant powerhouse. While moderate amounts of vitamin C are beneficial, high doses, especially in supplement form, can cause kidney stones, worsen certain types of iron overload, and even contribute to oxidative stress when the body can't process the excess. I once treated a man in his 70s who was drinking powdered vitamin C in water all day long because he believed it would keep him from ever getting sick. He ended up in the hospital with severe flank pain, unable to pass urine because his kidneys were blocked by stones. He never saw it coming. The second vitamin is folic acid, also known as vitamin B9. It's essential for cell growth and brain health, but the danger comes when it's taken in amounts that far exceed the body's needs. Many fortified foods already contain folic acid, so adding a high-dose supplement can push levels into a range that masks a vitamin B12 deficiency. This is a quiet but serious problem for older adults, because untreated B12 deficiency can damage nerves and cause irreversible cognitive decline. I remember a retired school teacher who came to me with memory problems and numbness in her hands. Her blood tests showed high folate, but dangerously low B12. She had been faithfully taking a brain support formula with 800 micrograms of folic acid every day, without realizing she was covering up the real problem. The lesson here is that no vitamin is harmless simply because it's sold over the counter. Every nutrient has a range where it helps and a point where it harms. That range is different for everyone, especially as we age, when our kidneys, liver, and metabolism don't work the way they once did. What's safe for a 30-year-old can be risky for someone at 70. And what's printed on a label isn't always the full story. If you take vitamin C, keep it within the recommended range of 75 to 90 milligrams a day, unless your doctor advises otherwise. If you take folic acid, be mindful of how much you're already getting from fortified foods like cereals, breads, and pasta. And always monitor your B12 levels if you supplement regularly. The bottom line is simple: respect the dose, know your sources, and never assume more is better. These 2 vitamins might not be as notorious as the others we've discussed, but in the wrong hands or at the wrong dose, they can be just as dangerous. Awareness is your best defense, and with it, you can use these nutrients to support your health without risking the very independence you're working to protect. Your body was never designed to run on pills. It was built to thrive on real, whole food your brain recognizes, absorbs, and uses in the exact amounts nature intended. Supplements can have their place, but when they become the foundation of your diet, you risk replacing a balanced, living system with a handful of isolated chemicals. That's not how the human body evolved to work, and over time, it can leave you more vulnerable instead of stronger. I once worked with a woman named Margaret Wilson, a retired school principal who came to me with dizziness, unsteady mornings, and blood pressure that seemed to rise for no reason. She was taking a long list of supplements: vitamin D for bones, E for her heart, B complex for energy, niacin for cholesterol, plus a multivitamin and 2 brain formulas. On paper, it looked like she was covering every base. But when we replaced those pills with actual food eggs for protein, avocado for healthy fats, berries for antioxidants, leafy greens for folate, fatty fish for omega-3, something remarkable happened. Within weeks, her dizziness eased, her pressure stabilized, and her energy returned. Food offers something supplements can't: synergy. The nutrients in an orange don't just give you vitamin C. They come wrapped with fiber, water, flavonoids, and enzymes that help your body use them efficiently. Salmon isn't just omega-3, it's also protein, B vitamins, selenium, and compounds that protect your brain cells in ways no capsule can replicate. The shift isn't about eliminating every supplement. It's about letting real food take the lead. When you nourish yourself this way, you're not just feeding your body. You're protecting your brain, your heart, and your independence with every bite. That's the kind of prevention no pill can match. At this stage in life, every choice you make carries more weight. Your body no longer bounces back from mistakes as quickly as it once did, and the smallest daily habit, good or bad, can shape the way you live the next decade. That's why awareness is not just useful, it's essential. Knowing how the things you put into your body interact, knowing when a healthy habit might actually be a risk, gives you the power to protect yourself in ways most people never think about until it's too late. The truth is, no one cares more about your health than you do. Doctors can guide you, loved ones can encourage you, but you are the one making the daily choices. The supplements you take, the food you eat, the way you listen or don't listen to your body. These decisions build your future. The good news is, it's never too late to make a better choice. You can start tomorrow morning or tonight with a single change. So I want to leave you with this. Respect your body enough to question what you're giving it. Read labels, ask questions, keep learning. Don't be afraid to let go of a habit that no longer serves you, even if you've had it for years. Your brain, your heart, your independence, they're worth protecting. And if you've found value in what we've shared today, take a moment to subscribe, share this with someone you love, and join me in continuing this journey toward stronger, safer, more informed living. You are never too old to take back control. When it comes to protecting your brain and overall health, the biggest danger is often the one you don't see coming. We've talked about vitamins that, while helpful in the right amounts, can quietly harm you when taken in excess or without proper guidance. The truth is simple. Your body needs balance, not overload. More isn't always better. The key is to nourish yourself with real food, supplement only when necessary, and work closely with your doctor to ensure every pill you take is serving your health, not threatening it. Awareness, caution, and informed choices are your strongest tools in keeping your mind sharp, your body strong, and your independence intact for years to come. The lesson: your health is the sum of small, daily decisions. Question what you put in your body, stay curious, and let knowledge, not habit, guide your choices. Apply this by reviewing your supplements, knowing your dosages, and replacing excess pills with whole foods whenever possible. Now, I'd like to hear from you. Which of the vitamins we discussed surprised you the most? Please comment below with your answer so others can learn from your perspective. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more science-backed health advice made for you. If you'd like to support our work, check out the supplements linked in the description. They're handpicked for safety and quality, and your purchase helps us keep bringing you valuable content.